Now, one of the most important things we're going to learn about is how to do label reading. And this is something that you're not going to have to do for the rest of your life, because once you learn how to do this, it'll become automatic. And then when you're grocery shopping, you'll really be able to just pick out the foods because you've already done this once or twice before. Now, just a quick blurb on sugar and how important it is to get that out. The average Canadian is consuming 110 grams or 26 teaspoons of sugar per day. Now that's roughly 21% of the caloric intake, and what we're trying to do is get that down to 5%. Okay, 5%. So we're trying to get that down to anywhere from like 6 teaspoons. So we're trying to get down from 26 to 6. And we're trying to show you all the ways that you can do that. Now, when I'm grocery shopping and when I'm looking for a product I'm not familiar with, the first thing I do is I read the label, and I'm going to teach you how we do that. So on a label, one of the first things that I'll do is I will scan my finger down. So under carbohydrates, there's going to be two other columns here. One is for fiber and one is for sugar. And what I'll do is I'll scan down and look really quickly and see if there's any added sugar or what the sugar content is of that. The second thing that you have to do is you also have to look at the per serving, because sometimes they'll put on the label that it only has 5 grams of sugar, but a serving might be really small. So you really have to watch that. So you're really trying to look at the serving size and then scroll down and you're looking at, okay, how much sugar does that actually contain? So keeping in mind, you're trying to get this number as low as possible. So clearly if that number is low, it's good. If I'm looking at things like protein bars, or I'm looking at granola bars and things like that, what I'll often do is try and get the number, we're trying to get like 15 and below as an example. So if it's for my kids though, imagine 15 grams for me and how my body responds versus say 15 grams on a 7-year-old. So you really want to be careful with kids, because you want to make sure that they're not having too much in one shot, because that will really start to affect their glycemic index. Now, this is something that you can teach your kids to do, because when we go grocery shopping, literally our kids will grab products I'm not familiar with. They'll be like, "Daddy, can I have this?" And be like, "Well, just read the label. How many grams of sugar?" And they do the same thing. They look, they go down to carbohydrates, they look under sugar, and they say, "It only has 6 grams. So I told you that we were shopping for yogurt one day, and my son, found one that only had 6 grams of sugar. So he found it. So I said, well, you find the one that has the lowest amounts. And he was able to do that on his own. So it's something that you can get familiar with. It's something you can teach your kids to. And it's something that once you get used to it, it just becomes automatic, and you get this familiarity with different types of foods. And you don't have to do this forever. When you start to go shopping, it becomes really easy and less stressful.